Guys,
Hello.
it's Tuesday.
Yes.
Just doing our sprint planning.
Yeah.
Laura's back.
Laura's back.
She's over
Shy.
Shy. Dave's been moved to his other room now.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, well for me this week it's been pretty simple for me. It's the Oceania DLC for Cunning Pixels. Had it already started now. It's doing pretty good, so I think I'm just going to carry on for the rest of the week.
And yeah, on Sky's Dead Ranch stuff, I am going to do some programming this week. I promise. So saving and loading is the priority, just because we want to get a build out. I've already made a start on it, but we just need to keep syncing up more and more stuff. Like today, for example, I'm going to be trying to work on the Skylets, and then there's going to be even more stuff to sync up later on. But yeah, that's priority. I think Laura's going to have a crack at some of the large buildable items, like the lift and
water wheel, house modules.
Yeah. So that should be
stuff.
good to try and get those stuff in.
Yeah, for me, it's just me DLC. So finishing up the Flags DLC, because that comes out next week. Some final QA, one level fix, that sort of stuff. And then other than that, just hexceed, catch up with as many levels as I can.
Okay, so today I have actually been working on saving and loading stuff, which is really good because I really wanted to get it basically sorted last week and I just didn't have time to work on it at all. But essentially it's just a matter of making sure all the data is synced up. So test for devlog. My PC is running a lot faster since I fixed the CPU issue I was having last week, by the way.
Well, then you better go catch it!
But yeah, all of the information that needs syncing up is just... It's just like there's lots of big chunks of it. So the tutorial seems to be synced up about right now, so I'll just progress through it a little bit and kind of show you what's going on. Okay, so yeah, I've just progressed through the tutorial a little bit. You'll see those little icons in the bottom right. They are now synced up in the saving, which is quite good. So I've unlocked all of the 3 abilities now, but if you backed out during that bit and then loaded back in, it should be in the correct state. I've also been working on getting the buildables saving. There was an issue with the rotations. For some reason they were always upside down, which I thought was quite funny. So it's like sticking through the floor, but I think that should be alright, and then the floor is synced up as well. So that's the things we're working on today, so I'll just quickly save the game and then show you hopefully the same state when we come back in. Okay, so we're back to the main menu, and now if we load back in, we can either press continue or we can look at the load saves, but this load save thing is just getting out of hand.
Now there are 2 of them.
Just because of how many different saves I've had to be testing on. Every time I change something, it means that it kind of invalidates the previous saves, so it's been a bit of an issue. Oh, it's so much faster. And yeah, it's the bin there, the bin's there, and you can see that this little area of floor that I've terraformed has stayed terraformed as well, which is really good because it works across the cave as well. So now if we unlock the cave, we go into the cave, every change that you make in the cave stays, which is really good. The only little bug that I saw there was because it spawned me in right next to this sign, the quest that I actually had was to go to this sign, so that's why there was a little bit of camera weirdness just there, but we should be good. Are we good? Why is it still saying build the Skype here? Why?
Okay, so yesterday I started the Oceania DLC for Cunning Pixels, and it was a bit of a tough one to start because I hadn't done Cunning Pixels in a few weeks, and I was warming up again. So I started off with something pretty simple, and this is, I think it's called Uluru.
Uluru.
Uluru?
Uluru.
Uluru in Australia?
Uluru.
Which is that big sort of mountain range / rock in the Australian outback. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I got all the details in that I wanted to, considering it's not too big of an image. It is 202 by 102, so I think overall, I captured what it looks like, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's a nice starter warm-up image to do. As the next one, I kind of jumped over for, in the Australian theme, I did a little koala. I was sort of planning for this to be the sort of store page logo image, and I think this might work pretty well. I'm going to leave it to Lee, see how it looks. If not, I'll happily draw up another one, but sticking with the Australian theme, I thought this would go quite nicely. And as for now, I'm going to quickly pull up my reference because I don't know what these are called. I'm working on a sort of mask here, which is an African mask, but they've also got another name. I think they're called Eharo masks. Overall, there's a lot of design work I could do for this, but I've kind of stuck with one reference I've got now, and I'm kind of just adapting it. And overall, it's coming along pretty well. It's a lot of pattern work and just making sure all the lines fit together well. But overall, I think the hard bit's done, which is definitely this sort of middle eye section. I just need to do the mouth now and this sort of frame that goes around it. So hopefully it won't take too much longer now.
Yeah, so today the save and loading stuff has been mainly focused on. Oh, that's a problem with the load thing, isn't it? It doesn't just the size of the scroll bar. It can't go down any further. Anyway, yeah, so it's been trying to sync up the skylets, which has taken a few iterations, as you can see. Fingers crossed this should work though. So there's still a few bits to do. So things like the field guides doesn't sync. So as soon as all of the creatures spawn, there's they've got these little pop-ups on because the field guide is blank. But it is syncing them, and I think it's working correctly. All of their information about how happy they are, whether they're shiny or not, things like that, and their positions and locations as well. So that's all syncing up, which is really, really good. I have noticed there's quite a few issues with the skylets going on. So for example, if you look over there, in that zone over there, there shouldn't be anything spawning, but there's chirp. And I think that must be because we've got Shelly in this island, and we don't want that. We want them completely separated. A couple of issues with the tutorial I've just noticed as well. So you'll notice that there isn't a bin built. That's because I was actually able to skip that bit of the tutorial somehow. I'm not quite sure how. I'm going to have to try and work out that. But yeah, this is a huge bit synced up, which is really good. Getting there. I imagine there'll be a lot more data tweaking and stuff for these skylets based on our plans for them in the future, but for now, it's good enough. Yeah, so carrying on with saving and loading stuff, today has mainly been about the items, and there were a couple of other things to do with the shop that didn't quite work. So if we get the shop to arrive. Cool, so a few things in the shop that weren't syncing very well was all of these new pop-ups to basically indicate whether or not you've actually got it selected. They weren't working, which I think it is now. So you can see that when we loaded up all of these seeds, the new wasn't there because I clicked on them previously in the save. So I think that's all working, and the money wasn't carrying over from saves as well. But most of my day has been to do with items. So you'll see here that I just loaded in, and there is an acorn. It's supposed to be a carrot, but at least something's being saved. I think it's just probably I just need to go in and make sure that the datas are aligned. We essentially didn't have any code for like storing which item is which. Really, they were all just like game objects in the world. So now each item has got a proper ID, just like the skylets and the buildables. And now you can basically register like this ID was at this position at this rotation in the save. So then when you load back in, you've got that enough information to be able to create a world object. That's basically been the day. It's just been a bit awkward, and yeah.
The past couple of days has been focused primarily on getting more hexceed levels done. And yeah, today especially I've made a sizable dent in the work because as we were saying last week, we are falling behind, or have been falling behind. But as you can see, I've just completed, I think it's 40 levels today, which is quite a large amount. Bear in mind, a lot of these are smaller than normal, which is why I'm able to get as many done. This task has just been completed as well. So yeah, there we go. As you can see, in terms of catching up, there's there's 30 more levels to do to catch up, and then it's sort of on to this week's work, which obviously we're not going to get done this week, but in terms of catching back up, I think it's looking more promising.
Hello, it's me, Laura. I'm back. I went to Italy. It was too hot. I don't recommend going there during summer, but I made a water wheel today. Well, it's not really finished yet, but it's getting there. It's going to be very big. It's going to be in water. And then Jack made this elevator. He made the model of it, and I think he was very busy, so I took over when I came back and finished painting it in the way he would do it. But I made the elevator support to go with Jack's elevator and a broken version of it.
Okay, so a quick update for the iPad dies. This image I managed to get done yesterday. However, because it took so much of my time, I only managed to get 2 images done yesterday, so I'm going to focus on this one. This is called I'm going to butcher this name. It's called a Palawian Bai, I think it's called. And apparently in Palau, every village had this iconic structure in the middle, I think, or somewhere around the town centre. It's a really nice design. It's got lovely markings on the side, and I want to try and incorporate it into this DLC. But wow, it was hard. There was a lot of detail here that I tried to capture. I think I got most of it in, but just because how dense the image is, it pretty much took the whole day. And if you ever go researching it, you'll see why the building is just covered in really cool markings and symbols. But I think I got pretty close. I'll put this here. I'll put the reference to Lee, and he can put it on the right side here. And I think I got it pretty close. I'm pretty proud of this one.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slog, but I think I'm about there with the saving and loading. So I think all of the data is synced up. The last few things were the actual plants, because they've got various growth stages and stuff like that. There was a fair bit of stuff that needed syncing for that. I think we still need a flag to disable this when you load into a scene, but it's the bulk of the stuff is synced up. So when we load in, it should be a world that has got stuff in it. Yeah, cool. So you see the items on the floor, they are where I left them. If I do some planting and stuff like that, that should sync. And yeah, it's pretty much all there. Not actual much to show you really, but it's working. It's working.
Hello. I also made these shells while I was waiting for Robin, Jack and Lee to review my stuff that I've done this week. Because I start work later and I finish later, they can only review my stuff for a few hours, so while they couldn't do that, I was making these shells, and they look like candies. I don't know if they'll fit the game yet, and I have to fix some geometry over here and maybe elsewhere too, but yeah, I'll see how they look in the game. They're not finished yet, but soon they will be, and they'll be very cute. I want to eat them. Hello, it's the weekend.
Hello! Should we wait till... Yeah, I think we're good. We're good. Go. Been a busy week for us all this week. Lee's off today. So...
Go.
Yeah, cool. It's been a busy week. Thank you to everyone who joined the stream today. Culling Pixels store page should be out as of this video, which is Oceana. Yeah, I've been hard at work on that. The Flags DLC from Hulu, that'll be out now.
Yeah, the day this
it's next week for us. Yeah, should be out. And thank you to everyone. That's for levels, yes. And thank you to everyone who joined my stream today as well.
Yeah, cool. Make sure to wish this Skystead Ranch on all the platforms, everything. We're really plowing on with it now. It's looking really good. Loads of skylights, saving and loading done. Yes. TM maybe. Hopefully. Yeah, thanks to everyone who watched, and thanks to Jack's man.
Yeah. My man.